India showed us all the true lesson of generosity this afternoon, the level of gift giving. I mean, Father Christmas cannot actually compete. Rishabh Pant was so valiant, came out, that effort, the partnerships, the struggles, all of those runs pretty much cut out like that Superman kissing scene. Dark days await for India. This is my review of day 2. Let's just start off straight with India's bowling, I think. Let's go to that little session, because somebody sent me the stat, that session before the tea break, okay? You just put 350 runs on the board, and this is the distribution of how the English batsmen scored their runs. Now, yeah, 55% on a good length there, but if your line is crap, that's not really going to help, is it? The length is good, but then the line is too wide. So they just hit the ball away, cut the ball away. Square shots. How many boundaries did they hit like that? The worst. Straight. Too straight. It can be the most beautiful length, but if it is too straight, how many runs were scored on the leg side, I wonder, because I counted at some point. I think Ben Duckett's first 7 boundaries, 6 of them they showed at least. Maybe it was all 7, but they were all shots from his legs, from his pads. That is his strength. You played into his strength. Okay, Zach Crawley, a man that came into this match not with a lot of confidence, he got all of his confidence right back. Because this is the thing with Bazball though. If you give them enough gifts, they will steal the prototype and start manufacturing it themselves. Because in the end, both of those batters, they found their feet and they were just phenomenal. But it was really all about the tone that the Indian bowlers set from the start. We got back here to this now, 20% full. Yeah, you're supposed to bowl fuller in England, to get some swing, etc. But you can't overpitch. Again, you also can't bowl too full on 12th, 13th stump. That's just breakfast for the Bazballers. You just brought Bazball right back. It's going to be a trend now again, and they're going to believe once and truly and fully that this is the way to play cricket. So I just thought that was just very disappointing for me from the Indian bowlers. I kind of told my one friend that I thought, okay, the spinners have to, because Gill's been guilty of this. He's not been bringing on the spinners early enough, right? When the quicks have not been successful. 25th over, I thought 20 to 25th. So he did actually kind of bring Jadeja in on the 25th over. I would have actually brought in Sundar, right arm off spinner against Ben Duckett there. And you might have gotten him a lot earlier than 94. We can't really find too much fault with Cambodge. It's your first match. We also need to take into account that England have been really, the weather gods have been on their side, because all of a sudden when they came out to bat, there was that difficult time, that period where India had the clouds, because England, their bowling this morning was absolutely fantastic. Ben Stokes, first fifer for him in 8 years. He also, I think the last fifer by an England captain was in Bob Willis, 1983 or something. We'll check that. We'll put that up for you. But what an achievement for him. He's just been, I think the remarkable thing for me about Ben Stokes is that he's been a guy that's been struggling with a bit of injuries, fitness, etc. But this is a 5 test match series, and every single match, he's just getting better and better. And he's just, his rhythm, his run up, everything just looks perfect. And talk about accuracy, hitting that green strip over and over and over again. And I also thought to myself, India, they did not really do that enough. There were all of these little gold mines on that pitch, and they just haven't really been using it. But coming back to Washington Sundar against Ben Duckett, there's so much rough there. I think this is the Jimmy Anderson end. There's a lot to work with there for the spinners. But Jadeja, he bowled well, economical-ish. At least he was the first person, I think, that looked like taking a wicket. Even Bumrah looked completely off. And I think we saw anybody who doubts, how valuable Bumrah is to this side, and India, they win without him. This is what it looks like for India when Bumrah is having a bad day or a bad afternoon, a bad session. How many runs have England got now? I didn't even watch the last 10 minutes. Are they on 230 now or something? That's obscene. Look at how quickly they got to this. It just kind of spiraled there for India. They're going to have to come out tomorrow morning and they're going to have to bring it, because I feel like this match can be lost in that session tomorrow morning. Okay, not lost, but it could become very, very far away. For India, we have to give credit to Pant. Again, another record broken by him here. Yesterday, I made the remarks that he could very well, there could be a debate, you know, to say that he's the best wicketkeeper batter. I mean, look at the names here in this list here. You've got Dhoni, you've got Gilchrist, Gilly. Everybody's in there, you know. The argument can be made. He's only not conquered New Zealand. He's done pretty well in South Africa, Australia, and England now. We've seen how well he does. But yeah, I mean, I just do not understand the tactics here by India. And it's not even tactics. It's like maybe they had plans, but they just weren't being executed well enough. Jofra Archer as well. Bumrah became his first right-handed batter wicket. Okay, I think 6 or 7 of his other wickets, all of his other wickets have been left-handed batters. And with India being chock and block with all of those lefties, you know, how valuable, again, is Jofra Archer for this team? And let's talk a bit about Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley now. Like, I spoke a little bit about them, but they were absolutely phenomenal. This is the type of stuff that they thrive on. Okay, everybody's talking about Zach Crawley, who's going to be incredible in Australia. You think about somebody like an Aidan Markram, also a tall right-handed opening batter. You know, he also loves playing in Australia. They love the ball bouncing. They love the ball meeting the bat here by their hip. I thought that review was terrible. The first review, Siraj and Gill. Gill also, as a captain, is going to have to learn not to just say yes to bowlers all the time, because that hit Zach Crawley on his thigh. Have you seen how tall Zach Crawley is? So not a good review, that. But I get it. They were desperate to get a wicket there. But yeah, a lot is going to have to happen for India tomorrow. I thought the last 30-40 minutes were a lot better. I would like to see Washington Sundar come into play tomorrow and bowl at least 10 to 15 of the overs remaining before that new ball, because I really do think he's for me the guy who can really take 2 or 3 wickets like this. And again, you know, there's no Kuldeep Yadav. If your quicks aren't doing well, you know, where's the X factor kind of factor? Maybe Bumrah will feel better and he'll bowl better tomorrow. But I think quite an uphill battle here for India. And this is a must-win match. I think we keep forgetting this, but this is a must-win game for India. And I just think, again, India took a day and a half to gather all of those runs. And just, I mean, how demoralizing it almost is for all of that to just evaporate in a session and a half. Not even a session and a half, actually. So it's Shubman Gill's captaincy is definitely going to come into play here. But you got to give credit to England, because the moment you give them the pinky, they take the whole arm. That's just how they play.